Hello boys and girls, I'm Giuseppe from Parvati Records.
Welcome to Australia. Have you been to Australia before?
Yes, it's second time. First time was for the solar eclipse in 2012, I believe, in the north of Australia, and now is the second time after many years. Raining, but still the dance floor was full. The people was following the music, and that gives a lot of energy.
Was it difficult at the beginning, at the start?
It was a little bit difficult because I had no idea how to run a label. I this kind of music, and I want to say lifestyle, since the middle 90s.
How has the culture, Psytrance culture, has changed in that 20 years? What made you decide that you want to start a label? What was that decision based on?
Somehow I feel that in our music, the psytrance and the psychedelic trance culture doesn't really matter in which country you go. You have some basic values, or how to call them, common spirit. Well, to keep releasing nice music and present it to the people around the world. And
Hello everybody from Zenith Gathering 2023, New South Wales, Australia. It's day 3 now, second night. Brother, please introduce yourself for the viewers who may not know you.
Hello boys and girls, I'm Giuseppe from Parvati Records, and yes, we are here in Australia for the Zenith Gathering. I've been coming with 2 artists from my label, Parvati Records, to have a showcase, how they call it, and here we are.
Welcome to Australia. Have you been to Australia before?
Yes, it's second time. First time was for the solar eclipse in 2012, I believe, in the north of Australia, and now is the second time after many years.
Are you playing at any other events in Australia on this time?
Yes, we are going to Melbourne and play there next Friday. It will be in a club, not an open air, but I'm looking forward because everybody speak very good about Melbourne and the parties over there.
How do you feel about your set?
I feel good about it. It took me little time to get into to warm up, but it was so much energy from the dance floor because, as you can see, how I'm dressed is very much raining, but still the dance floor was full. The people was following the music, and that gives a lot of energy.
Do you feel? Is there anything different in the Australian kind of festival culture from what you've seen so far to everywhere else that you played in the world?
I've not been here so long to really answer to your question, but somehow I feel that in our music, the psytrance and the psychedelic trance culture doesn't really matter in which country you go. You have some basic values, or how to call them, common spirit. That for me is beautiful because unify all around the world. Doesn't matter if I'm in South America, I'm here, or I'm in Europe. And I have this feeling also here in this Zenith Gathering in Australia. Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. Once again, welcome to Australia. How long have you been doing this?
I have the record label since year 2000, but so it's like 23 years now. And before of that, I was organizing party in Denmark, so I am inside this kind of music, and I want to say lifestyle, since the middle 90s, and about DJing I started few years after the label was born, so maybe it's 20 years that I'm DJing.
That's a long time. How has the culture, Psytrance culture, has changed in that 20 years?
I think about this scene is kind of special in a way, because I can see that is all the time a new generation coming in. Since 30-40 years that exists this Goa style, and is all the time renovating itself, because again new generation come in every 4-5 years. I feel there is new inputs, new guys start to present their music outside, and the new ideas coming into the production of festivals and parties, and so I think it's just beautiful. In that way I'm not getting bored after so many years, because I feel it's always something new and nice new.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. Who inspires you musically?
When I started I've been listening a lot of different kind of music, and of course before the Psytrance I listened to a lot of the rock music of those years in the 80s, and I loved bands like The Clash, and but normally I would always like music that somehow have feelings inside and also give some kind of message. And I think that music is part of everybody's life in the world in a way or in another. So I think it's just beautiful like this. Yes.
Yes, that's what we're here for. Yes. Please tell me, you've played at many different gigs. What was ever the craziest situation that ever happened, either on the dance floor or on the stage when you were playing?
Oh, this is there are many, of course, many episodes. I remember one party for me was very special. It was in the north of Norway, in one little island. Was called Midnight Sun, because in this part of the earth, even in the sun never set, because you are very close to you are actually after the Arctic Circle in the very north, and the atmosphere was really different and weird, and because there was not coming the night, so a lot of people was coming from abroad. They were not Norwegian, so they were not used to that, and it created a lot of funny situation, because people was really spaced out, could not sleep for 2-3 days. But luckily nothing bad happened on that level. But yeah, that was maybe one of the most funny festival I have been. So the label has been for 23 years now. What made you decide that you want to start a label? What was that decision based on? Well, it's because at that time I was with some friends organizing some parties, and there was not so many labels active. There was some of they are still alive now, like for example TIP, but several more. But we had access to some new music, because one of my friends used to go in Goa every year and coming back with these tapes of underground music, and we listened to that, and this music was not released nowhere. So we thought that maybe we could show that music to to the world, and decided to start the label with this plan. Yes.
Was it difficult at the beginning, at the start?
It was a little bit difficult, because I had no idea how to run a label, and also living in Denmark, I make everything after the book, like registering the company and making the things officially in a way, and then the production at the time there was no digital. So the music would come out on CDs. So I remember the first production of CDs. I was calling a few people I knew a little bit and ask advice. For example, the Ethnica guys. They had already label, and so I got some help and got a little bit some tips or hints, and then I just went on and on until now.
So currently, how big is it? Like, how many people are working and how many artists are on it?
Well, we are like very little in that way. I mean, working on the label full time is myself and my ex-partner is called Bettina, and she normally take care of the homepage and the graphic, and myself I take care of everything else: the artists, the releases, the productions, the bookings. So it's kind of a lot of things to do every day because we are a big group. I think there are around 32 producers, and I have also 3-4 label DJs with me. So we are a big family.
What are your plans for the label for the let's say for the next 5 years?
Well, to keep releasing nice music and present it to the people around the world, and music for party to be played outdoors mainly. And again, I have a big group of artists with me, so there is always some new music produced in the different studios. So we have a good schedule of coming up albums, EPs, and yes, we are making some special plans for 2025 because it will be the 25th anniversary of the label, the quarter of a century. So I want to make something out of it, a little bit special, but let's see.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. Any hints that you can give us at this time?
Now I want to keep the tension.
Well, thank you. Once again, welcome to Australia. Second time. I hope you enjoy. You're gonna have like a week in between the gigs. Yeah, please take time to enjoy it as much as you can. Looking forward to your back-to-back set with Arjuna, and thank you for taking time to talk to me. Any last words that you would like to add?
Well, I also want to thank you to make the interview and give me the chance to talk a little bit to the scene here. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here and happy to go to Melbourne, one more party. And yeah, nice.
Very well. Thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.